Hey, what's up, Joseph? Quick demo video for you for your Magic of Myth Luke Skywalker saber. I did this on my live stream last night on Mark Hamill's birthday, so it was really cool to be able to do that. So this is install the Proffie. You've got two sets actually of CC Sabers lit NeoPixel connectors, so that's one obviously. The other one is in the grenade section because you have the Veracity Labs crystal chamber. So we'll just want to unscrew the grenade section and they'll come right off. All right, we'll set that off to the side. Here's your second set right here that makes contact with that blade side PCB in there that never moves. And then here is your chamber. I don't know if you got a chance to watch this or not, but it is up, and just in case you wanted to see how this came together. I did put a little bit of brass mesh right here to cover up those windows, but it still has some really nice shine through. You sent me a little baggie of about 6 or 7 green quartz crystals. I found one that I was able to fit in there, so we lit all that up for you. Turn around. I mean, this entire thing is just a beauty, right? It's a 2-button setup, so your back switch will be your activation, your front will be your auxiliary. To get to your kill switch, you just want to slide your control your clamp card back, and then you'll see your kill switch right there, and then your reveal board and everything like that. All right, and then if you ever by chance need to get to the board, and I did get the sound font on here that you sent me, I think it was LS6. All you got to do is unscrew the back section here. In the pommel you have a 28mm Smuggler's Outpost Elite speaker, and it's in its own speaker pod right here. It never comes out, so it's nice and tidy. And then here is your board, so you got access to your SD card, your micro USB. You've got a 1.3mm recharge port here, and then your stock pogo pins, and it says Smuggler's Outpost over here in Arabic just around the chassis. But that's how you get to your board from there. All right, but if you don't need to change anything, you should never even have to open that up. All right, so we'll go ahead and we'll lock that back down so the speaker makes connection. Go ahead and turn this light off, and then we can show you the chamber. Now, I did sub blades for the chamber. In your config, what you'll find is like there's 6 blade styles per font. The first one is your main blade. The second one is your crystal chamber. The next 2 are the 4 LEDs I have in here, but they just count as 2 because they're 2 LEDs back to back. All right, so those are for your plasma gate. And then blade style 5 is your red LED here, and then blade style 6 is your green LED in your control box. So 6 blade styles per font. All right, we'll go ahead and we'll turn this on. We'll flip the kill switch. So I got it doing just a little something different when the saber's off. I can get that to focus. There you go. All right. Kind of walk you around the chamber so you can see everything lighting up. Brass mesh has some really good shine through. The crystal is shining very brightly. We'll turn it on. Whoops. Sorry, so this is your auxiliary. Your front is your activation. You got just a little blue blinking on the very top of your plasma gate there. Your LEDs here are firing up. And I made your red NeoPixel kind of pulse on and off when the saber's on. I gave you twist off, and then when the saber goes back off, we go back to your cave scene blinkies right here. All right, we'll go ahead and throw the grenade section on it. Just lock it all the way down. I did not do any motion controls to turn it on because there's so much movement involved with taking this grenade on and off, so I just gave you the twist off. Anyway, everything's all locked in. Now your PCBs on your emitter are firing up. The saber's super loud. Just like that. Put this over here. You also asked for a blade, so I made you a recessed blade, 1-inch diameter NeoPixel blade. recessed here on the tip. You can see that all the way around. So that works really well. What you want to do to put a blade in this guy is first you want to take the top of this emitter off, just the ring. All right, so kind of hold the actual emitter and just unscrew the ring. Make sure we don't drop it. There is one blade retention right here, and you need to back that out of the blade socket before you put your blade in. All right, so go ahead and we'll back that out real quick. Now you want to take this ring here, slide it over your blade. It is a snug fit, but it'll go. Just like that. And then we can come over here and put the blade in. Blade will slide right in, very nice and snug. Everything's pretty tight, so you shouldn't have any problems swinging this guy around. When it comes to your blade retention, you really need to crank down on it because it has to clear the threads right here. And if you don't, then this piece right here that we're going to slide down won't screw on all the way. All right, so just make sure that you crank down into your blade. Don't be afraid to do that. Okay, so everything is nice and tight and locked down. And we can come over here, turn it on, try to twist the saber for you. No dead spots. Everything's looking nice all the way from the base to the tip. If I held it this way, blaster bolt defect. Now to get blade lock up, you hold down auxiliary and hit the saber. Okay. And then we'll move up and down the blade as you move the saber until you let go of it. Playing your soundtrack is a long press on the power when the saber's off. And do the same thing to turn it off. A long press on the power. Okay, so one more time. Very easy, hit the button. You could turn it off with the power if you want. Just like that. All right, we'll go ahead and take the blade out of this guy. But first we'll come over here. Whoops. We'll turn it on and then we'll flip the kill switch. Expose it, turn it off, just like that, and it cuts power just like it should. All right, and then of course when we're done, we'll want to unscrew this emitter ring and bring it back up the blade just a hair so that we can get to the blade retention right here. Loosen it up and we can pull the blade out. Now anytime you're pulling anything out of the saber, it's just going to be the blade, but anytime you're putting the blade in or taking it out, if you can't push it straight in or pull it straight out, try to go clockwise like you're tightening it. Let me get this off and I'll explain why real quick, but we'll just go ahead and take this emitter ring off. Just like that, and I'll put the blade off to the side. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. We got to put that retention screw back into the blade socket. Everything on this upper part that I installed, I hand cranked it as tight as I could. I didn't glue anything down. So, you know, when it comes to this piece right here, I cranked that down as hard as I could. The emitter piece I cranked down, and the actual recess cup that holds your PCB, that has been very tightly hand cranked in. But if you have a tight blade like this one, and you constantly, turn it to the left like lefty-loosey, you might loosen it. So just always twist to the right is what I'm saying. All right, so that'll keep the tightness of your emitter, and you'll never have any problems that way. But anyway, that is basically your Magic of Myth and your recessed blade. Let me know if you got any questions, and if not, I will package this stuff up and get it out in the mail to you tomorrow. All right, thanks, man.